Okay, so our next section, we're still in 5-2, but I split it in half. So this will be 5-2B, and we're going to talk about some specific points that every line, every linear equation, every line will have. But before we can get to that, I've got to put our equation in a different form or a different format than what we're used to. Now remember, I said in the last video set that there are different ways to graph your lines. So the first way that we did in 5-2A was making your XY table, solving for Y, making your XY table, and plotting your points. In this video set, I'm going to show you another method of plotting and points and graphing your line. But first we got to talk about the standard form, because in order to use the second method, your equation has to be in a different form. And that form looks like this. Capital AX plus capital BY equals C. So we still have our two variables, X and Y. The letters A and B are our coefficients. And that's one of those words that we had to define back in chapter 2 or 3. That's just the number that's attached to your variable. Notice that in this form, your equation has both variables on the same side of the equal sign. Whereas when we were using the XY table, the Y had to be all by itself. But now it welcomes some friends. AX can be right there with it. And then it's equal to C, which is your constant, just your number. That is what goes on the other side of your equal sign. Now, when your graph is in this, when your equation is in this format, you will be easily able to find the graph's two special points. Those two special points are your x-intercept and your y-intercept. So let's talk about your x-intercept first. Your x-intercept is a point that crosses the x-axis. Okay? We all know what the x-axis is. It's that horizontal line on our coordinate plane. Whenever you have a linear equation, it's going to hit that x-axis once and only once. That's why it's a special point. When it hits that x-axis, the coordinates will be the value of x, whatever that, where it hits the x-axis, positive 2, negative 4, wherever, comma, 0. Because it's on that x-axis, it's not moving up or down, so your y value is 0. So whenever you have a number, your point, and your y value is 0, you are looking at the x-intercept. The other special point is called the y-intercept, and that is the point, I'll go right here, it's a point that crosses, I guess you can guess, the y-axis. And this y-intercept is going to be really important in a couple of days when I give you another way of graphing your linear equations called the slope-intercept form. So your y-intercept point is a point that crosses the y-axis, just like the x-intercept. When you have a linear equation, it only crosses the y-axis one time. That's what makes it special. And so the coordinates will be the opposite of what you see for the x-axis. Your coordinates will be 0 as your x-coordinate, and whatever the number, the value of y is that crosses your y-axis. So if it's a positive number, it'll be up. If it's a negative number, it will be down. So these are the two special points that when your equation is in the standard form, they're easy to find, easy to graph, and easy to plot, graph your line. So I'm going to stop the video, and when we come back, I'm going to give you the steps on how to take the standard form and plot your points and graph your lines.